Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Banknote Trading, where we take a look at the US dollar pairs and the Forex market. Today, we'll start by taking a look at Euro USD on the 4-hour chart. And of course, we start off by mapping out the current range. Bullish swing structure. Of course, this was consolidation. This area is where price has been more recently, bounced off this area of support after this double bottom. Broke straight to the upside, broke straight to the downside, but once these sellers stepped back in, they weren't able to go ahead and go any lower, targeting these lows. So buyers stepped back in, broke straight to the upside once again earlier this week. This remains at higher low from these lows. This could be possibly a higher low from these lows, with this, of course, being the top of the range. And as we see more locally since yesterday, like I said, back on Monday, it did break straight to the upside, but then it just consolidated. Price did come back down to this low of this consolidation, and it's back inside of this small range here. Waiting to see momentum to pick up. I think DXY did start to move higher, but waiting to see any movement on these dollar pairs. There's liquidity sitting under these lows, and if it does continue to make another lower high from this, a higher low from this low, after breaking structure, it would target these highs and then eventually target the highs of the overall range to continue in the upward direction. We're waiting to see any type of momentum to pick up. It does look corrective once it did break the structure. Like I said, it's just been locally consolidating within this whole range that it's been in. GBP USD, let's go map out the current range. And of course, this was the range from yesterday. And we see this had more aggression toward the downside than Euro, where it broke out of that range from yesterday. And this is the current structure. As you can see, sellers continue to push down, broke structure to the downside after this impulse leg down. And since those highs broke those lows, this was the pullback lower high from this high, and it broke the lows of that previous structure. This is now the lower high that should not be broken in order for this chart, in my opinion, to stay bearish. So now we're just waiting to see, just like with this, once that other range, it pulled back, waiting to see this go ahead and pull back into some area of premium or area of supply. That's where the price pushed out from. Just looking at this all week to see if it can get past this area of demand, which it did. So now we're looking to see if it can retrace and then look for an opportunity to sell. It looks like this is impulsive and the momentum is picking up to the downside. When we look at DXY, you can see this still in somewhat of a range. This was the consolidation structure. Price broke under it and then came back into it overnight. Still waiting for the momentum to pick up, but this is what I was saying, that the dollar had, on a micro level, got stronger once it did take out these lows of this consolidation. So overall, we know that we were watching this sweep of previous lows, and buyers were making this a bullish internally. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, waiting for another higher high to take out these highs and then sweep. If momentum continues to pick up, it can do that and start taking at the highs and continue on higher. We're waiting to see any dollar news. There is an interest rate decision today. AUD USD, let's go map out the current range. And of course, we are pointing out this wedge pattern that broke out. We see what happened after it broke out. Pushed to the upside, consolidated for a while, got past this area of supply, and now price is continuing to push higher. So overall, bearish swing structure, internally bullish after this breakout. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. It's this wick reacting from this high. It's got some liquidity, but we're seeing that There's no real push down. It's impulsive to the upside. Just consolidating right now, expecting this to go ahead and target the highs of the overall range to get past this area of supply. Waiting for any type of retracement, but it may not retrace. It looks like this is pushing with momentum to the upside. And then we'll see if this AUD price leg will change in the bullish direction, like overall with AUD USD. It's been in a range. It got bullish. And if you can see, this may have been the higher low than these lows. So wait to see if it can break out and continue to push higher and target the highs of this overall structure. NZD USD, let's go map out the current range. A lot weaker than AUD USD, but we know made these lows, bear swing structure, internally bullish, started to break structure to the upside, break fractal structures to the upside, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's in this area of demand and supply. And we're waiting to see what price can do from there. Still in that area, and we know that it was corrective as it is pushing higher. So we're waiting to see if momentum can pick up. Obviously, momentum picked up on AUD USD. Waiting to see this corrective ascending channel to make a decision to see if it can go ahead and continue this AUD price leg bearish and take out the liquidity sitting on these lows, because it is in premium and it is in this area of supply. But it could also go ahead and target, if it does, it has to gain a lot of strength to go ahead and target these highs and flip the bias to bullish and have to get past this area of supply. So waiting to see any type of momentum to pick up on NZD USD. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining us.